What's going on, Cleveland?
What's up, Cleveland?
Hey, we back in the building again today at WOVU 95.9. Just glad to be here for our second show. It's going down today. We got a lot of good information we want to share with you. And I'm joined by my lovely co-host, Meltrice Sharp. What's going on, Meltrice?
What's going on, LaRese? So happy to be here today.
Yes. Hey, we're going to keep talking. Last week, it was our first show, so we didn't, have a lot of time to really go through the subject of savings and talk more about this government shutdown. Because it's impacting so many lives right here in our community. I know we're talking about the government workers, but you got to think about the contractors that work with the government agencies. You got to think about them and their employees. You got to think about the small business owners. So when government workers don't get paid, that's affecting the economy because they have no resources to put back in our community. So man, we got entrepreneurs that are in this city that are hurting right now. So people are being impacted, man. So we are definitely going to be talking about that, Meltrice.
Yeah, and that's what makes it important to really get your head wrapped around savings and put a real plan in place, because when things like this happen, you're not taken aback. It's not impacting your family the way that it's impacting some other people's family. I just heard people aren't paying their mortgage. I heard some people are sleeping in their cars because they can't afford to drive back and forth to work.
Wow.
I mean, we're in a critical state right now, and it really hurts my heart to know that, this government shutdown is having such an impact on the world at large, but our community is disproportionately impacted by it.
Absolutely. And you know what? Today, we here in the building, we want to be intentional as a show, he said, she said, to make sure we're supporting small business owners.
Yes.
And when I look around the room today, I'm looking at my man, Drico. Drico's in the building from Drico Lamar Productions. We have DJ Ulissa here in the building, who is the official DJ of He Said, She Said. I mean, we got the team here, man. JD's in the building. We got Kiera, man. So you anything you do in this community, when you see that we're having this sort of turmoil, you want to make sure that in some way that you're impacted and really supporting the small business owners right here in our community. And man, I came today, Drico. I told you, man, I got a local, I'll say a fashion company that has a brand Under God. And I'm rocking the sweater today. This young guy, man, is really taking the city by storm. He has some fresh gear. Go to Under God on Facebook, Instagram. So I'm going to be intentional, myself and Meltrice, to make sure that we're wearing your gear, man. So if you got some hot gear out there you want us to rep, we'll make sure we're wearing it. And then, man, you see what I'm wearing today?
I got in trouble for not wearing it today.
Oh, yeah, you got in trouble.
I got in trouble for not wearing the local gear. So I definitely will be intentional about that.
Oh, I got you. We're going to make sure we take care of you, Meltrice.
All right.
But then also, man, I got, my hat that I'm so proud of today. My daughter accepted to Miami University.
Gabby!
And so I'm a proud dad already. I'm rocking the hat, man. It matched the sweater, so I threw it on, man. But I'm happy, I'm proud. And so I'm rocking this today. And then again, I'm wearing Under God, man. I got the team in the building, and we're going to go ahead and jump right in.
Yeah,
what we got?
Before we get started, last week, LaRese, I think we forgot. No, I know we forgot. We forgot to take a pause and really thank God for this platform.
Oh, my goodness.
Right?
Yes,
because sometimes you and I, we're moving so fast, we forget to take it all in and say, what is God doing? Look what God has done for us. So I thank WOVU for the opportunity.
That's right.
But most importantly, thank God for the platform, the opportunity, the blessings. He continues to bless us even in the midst of crazy turmoil like this. He continues to bless us. So just wanted to take a minute to say thank you.
I agree with that. Well said. Shout out to Tim Tramble from Burton Bell Carr. My man Jay, the gospel kid, man, he really put it down for us and really, again, created this platform. So we thank God for him and his team. Again, we just thank you for, again, like Meltrice said, for this opportunity. And we are going to be very intentional to make sure that we're giving you good information that's going to change your mindset, create new financial habits, and really elevate your finance. All you got to do is listen in, call, man. The request line is 216-271-0959. So please call in. Check us out on Facebook Live. And we're going in on CLE Consulting Firm. Hey, and listen in to us. If you want to watch us, if you're at your desk and you can't really listen in on the radio, you interrupting the whole office, hit us up on Facebook Live. You know, put the phone on the computer and let's get busy, man. So what you got for me, man?
Last week we touched on the topic of savings.
Okay.
This week we're gonna talk about it.
Okay.
We're gonna get deep a little bit because, like I said, it's really important for our community to gain that power because money is power. We talked about that, right? And when we don't have money, we don't have power.
That's right.
And we need to take that power back in our communities. And the fact is, we are hardwired to think about the here and now as opposed to the future. We're hardwired for that success, having that success now. But we need to really focus in on the future. So a part of that is being able to save.
That's right.
So you
Emergency
can invest,
fund. That's right.
So you can invest in your community, and then you save enough money and make enough investments where your money start making money for you.
That's right.
So that's what we want to do. Today we want to educate, elevate, and wealth create.
Hey,
that's
man,
the thing.
I hear you.
Educate, elevate, wealth create.
That's right.
So we're about to do that today. So when we talk about savings, what we want you to do today is walk away with a few things.
That's right.
A few nuggets that we feel like if you implement these in your life, you definitely are going to elevate your life and find in a financial way, right?
Yes.
And we want to make this finances is not a hot topic. It's not a trendy topic. It's not a sexy topic, but we want to make it sexy.
Yes.
We want to make it sexy. We want to make it fun. We want to make people feel comfortable to ask the questions that most people are embarrassed to ask.
We want to make it relevant too.
We want to make it relevant.
We want to make it relevant.
Yeah.
We want to put it where you can grab it off the shelf, like they say. We want to speak over your head. And to all your doctors, your lawyers, your judges that are out there listening, because sometimes when I go in a room, you stare me right in the eye, and I'll tell you the opportunity that we get every day at CLE Consulting Firm. We get to, talk to different levels, athletes, professionals, executive, people who just started their business, and the problem continues to exist at every level. I just say you just added zeros in your income, but you also added zeros in your debt.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter the class or the address where you live at, the neighborhood you live in. We're seeing the same problems. So we want to make sure we're addressing that. So I want to jump in and give a couple things that I think that people should consider when we talk about that, Meltrice.
Okay.
One is, it's the weight gain. A lot of times, I used to say wait 48 hours before you spend $1,000.
I say 72.
So now, look, I'm going to push even harder. I'm saying to make a major purchase, at least 30 days.
And then major is relative.
It's relative.
Right?
So when we're talking about buying a car, something that's going to impact you not just this week, next month, next year, but we're talking about years down the road.
Right.
You buy a car, the average loan on a car is anywhere from 4 to 5 years. So that's going to impact your income, the way you can invest, the savings account that you can create, because you're driving that car you're paying $800 a month that really should be $300 a month. So credit is a whole nother story for another day.
And you're driving a car that costs the same amount as a mortgage, and you don't own your home.
Absolutely.
So you're driving a nice car rolling up to a rental.
That's right. So we always talk about that. And find an accountability partner.
Yeah.
Again, if you're the only one who knows your goals, who's holding you accountable? So if you have a best friend that you hang out with every day, you guys are going to the movies, you're going out, you're going to eat, you're traveling together, and they don't know your goals, how good of a friend are they really?
Right.
Because they should be the one sitting next to you saying, hey, maybe we should only do this once or twice a week because, I know you have a goal that you're trying to reach. So so making sure you have that person you trust that you will listen to, not your homie that going to say, hey, man, you know what? Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go spend that money. I got the refund check, or I got an extra bonus in my check, so let's go ball out today. I'm talking about maybe your mother, maybe your father, maybe your brother, your sister, or maybe somebody who you just feel like you can trust to really hold you accountable and make sure that you help you get to those goals. So I think that's the one, man.
Yeah, I mean, one thing is knowing your yes.
Yes.
I think a lot of times we don't know our yes. And so if your yes is yes to financial freedom, if your yes is yes to debt free, if your yes is I want to be able to pay for my kids' college, if your yes is I want to be able to invest in a house, then saying no to those instant gratification things is easier, right?
That's right.
And so if you really want that Gucci purse, but you know your yes is I really need to get out of debt, then saying no to that Gucci purse is a little easier.
That's right.
So the first thing is really understanding what your yes is. If your yes is bigger than your no is easy. The second thing is making savings automatic.
Yeah.
A lot of times we be like, oh, I'm going to save this money, and then we get that money in our hand.
And it's gone.
It's gone.
Poof,
we done forgot about our savings goals that we had. So if you make it automatic with your employer, if you have whatever that number is for you, because there's no one size fit all, right?
But we always talk about, Meltrice, to that, we always talk about the minimum you should at least have, because the average American in our community, less than 10% of people have $1,000 saved.
Yeah, the federal
$1,000 saved.
Based on the federal data, because they keep data on all of that, they say 40% of Americans cannot afford a $400 emergency fund.
Wow.
40%. So that transcends any industries. I don't care about you being a doctor, a lawyer, an accountant.
That's right.
I don't care, whatever. 40% Americans do not have enough to cover a $400 emergency fund.
Okay, so you know what? So even let's simplify it, because we're here to, again, put it where you can reach it. If you save $20, if you get paid weekly, and you have your job, ACH, $20 a week, over 52 weeks, you have $1,040. So now what we've already done is we've broken the national average. So again, on a simplistic, start with something, because a lot of times people say, I can't afford to save. Ask yourself, how many times are you hitting a local fast food joint, the local restaurant, and how much are you spending a day on that? And you say you can't afford to save $20? I mean, you get your hair done, you get your nails done, you get all that stuff done, but you have no savings account. So again, if you just start somewhere, a little goes a long way.
We can win.
That's right.
We can win. Yeah, something is better than nothing.
That's right.
So don't let perfect be the enemy of good.
Yeah, that's right.
And don't let little be the enemy of a lot. Start somewhere. Let's start. Let's win. We got a call?
Yeah, so we have emotional, and one thing I realize with a lot of people that we meet, even clients and people I meet in the community, we're emotional shoppers.
Yeah.
Emotional, man. It's like we feel good today.
Therapy.
Oh, it really is. Oh, we having a bad day, so I'm gonna go run the credit, card up because I'm feeling bad today. So we feel like we owe ourselves a treat today, but we don't realize we're making another problem versus the one we might be sad about at that point. So
the credit card rates are at their highest right now. They're at like an average of 17.5% because creditors are capitalizing on this ideal of emotional consumption.
That's right.
And so why pay 17.5% for instant gratification when you can save and then be able to have everything you want when you need it?
Yeah, and I say, you know what? I speak to that when I'm teaching out in the community. Meltrice, I talk about how are you still paying for a dinner you bought 6 months ago?
Right.
So you go to Red Lobster, you go on a date night, you spend $100.
You done digested it already.
You done digested it. And you paying the minimum, on the credit card, the $20 a month. And you don't realize when you look at that credit card bill in the corner, it talks about if you paid the minimum, this is how long it would take to pay that back.
Yeah.
And we're talking about literally for that $100 meal, it may take you 2 years to pay that back if you only pay the minimum because it's only paying the interest.
Yeah.
So that's something you want to consider, as you're out spending money and being emotional and spending money you don't have. So again, I want people to reconsider and be more strategic and pay themselves first.
Yeah.
Understand, set yourself up for things that happen. And not to say because some things happen. And you know what? It's a good time right now. We have our guests getting ready to get on the phone lines with us. We have the one and only Jeff Johnson calling in from D.C. today, a native of Cleveland, Ohio. This man really reps the city, not just on a local, national, but a global level.
Yes.
And man, we're so happy to have Jeff on today. We're going to go ahead and connect him with us.
Hey, what's up, y'all? How you doing?
What's going on,
Welcome to
Jeff?
the show, Jeff.
Hey, how you
Happy
doing?
New Year.
Happy New Year to you as well, my brother, man. I was just talking, man, and saying that we are just so proud of the work that you're doing, just on a global level, man, and how you're impacting, our community and really educating us and creating opportunities for individuals that look like us and beyond as well, man. So, hey, I just wanted to thank you for all your great work that you're doing.
No, man, I feel the same way about what you all are doing. So we are all trying to do our part, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, well, we're going to go ahead and jump right in, man. Because I know your schedule is crazy. Just for you, we just want to thank you for taking the opportunity today again, man, for jumping in and taking a little time out your busy schedule. But, hey, I want to talk about this government shutdown, Jeff. That's the thing that my DM is getting full with, my email. They're calling the office. People are looking for resources, want to know how it truly is impacting our community. Can you tell us all the way from D.C., like, what are you seeing? What are you hearing from entrepreneurs, government workers, from the political scene? What's going on, man, with that?
Well, I mean, it's a lot. I mean, I don't know if we're really clear about how deep it goes because there's so many layers. And so whether it's TSA workers, for people like me who travel a lot, I think that there is a threat that either LaGuardia or JFK may have to sit down because the air traffic controllers are being overworked, and those are also government workers. So every single airport in the country, no matter where, that is the FAA.
That's right.
And so, if you fly a lot, there are air traffic controllers that are considered significant workers that have to come and are working for free.
Right.
Wow.
So it's hitting so many places, but I think one of the things that's clear is, as of yesterday, I want to say that there are over 20,000 new workers requesting relief of some kind or another, or temporary unemployment.
Wow.
You have not only furloughed workers or those that are essential staff working for free. You also have to take into consideration the large number of government contractors who are not being paid. And so whether those are I know high level consultants, right?
That's right.
That are doing incredible work with the federal government, and I know brothers and sisters that have cleaning companies.
That's right.
That do contract work for federal buildings. And so this thing is not just about the 800,000 employees that are either not working or being asked to work for free. This is the countless number of consultants and businesses that are connected. Even if you think about in Washington, D.C., if you got a small restaurant that's centered in an area of federal workers, you're not making money.
Yeah.
So this thing is, and I think the problem that I have with it is that if this was about some really substantive bill that incredibly impacted the daily lives of American people, regardless of their party, it might make some sense. But this is not that. I mean, almost every single person polled is saying, especially those who live on the border, are saying that this is not necessary.
Right.
Wow.
And so nobody is saying that border security is not necessary. What they're saying is that a wall is not necessary to ensure border security. And so this is the ravings of a narcissist.
Wow.
Who is using the American people and government workers as checker pieces, because he ain't playing chess.
Wow.
And I hope that the Democrats are able to propose a substantive solution, because if not, they will be as much at fault for this, for not ending it, as Trump is for starting it.
Yes.
But we've got to hold Trump, we've got to hold Nancy Pelosi in particular accountable to bringing an end to this.
Yes.
And bringing it into it as quickly as possible. I appreciate Nancy Pelosi's stance this week in not allowing the president to do a State of the Union.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because that would have been offensive on top of offensive.
Yes.
Like, you seriously gonna go into Congress
Wow.
and give us a State of the Union about what you say you're doing in the midst of what you clearly are not doing?
Right.
I mean, that was so. I do appreciate the Democrats and Nancy Pelosi's leadership in ensuring that didn't happen. But But come on, you all. I mean, you all know that I have a god sister who is a family prosecutor in Cleveland.
Wow.
Who is not working.
Wow.
Yes.
But she still got to try cases.
Yeah, see, that's what people. I'm glad you were on the show today, Jeff, because that's the thing that people really don't know. What you're sharing, man, about the impact of contractors, the impact of entrepreneurs,
the ripple effect.
The ripple effect is really, like you said, with all due respect, beyond just the 800,000, man. It's really impacting that. As accountants, man, we're seeing it because people who traditionally, wouldn't be here getting their tax refunds or getting advances are now getting advances, and that money that would traditionally maybe go towards an investment account or investing in a property or doing something else, they're needing it just to survive right now. So I mean, the conversation is very deep and impacting a lot of lives right here in the city of Cleveland, man. So,
and do you see any end to it?
I don't know, but I think you make a great point. The IRS sent home 88% of its workforce.
Yes.
And then on January 15th, they recalled 46,000 workers to handle tax returns.
Yes.
So it I mean,
it's going to be a lot of cleanup work for us, probably.
And only 10,000 of those employees are deemed essential.
Yes.
Right.
So, you talk about all of these things. The other piece, man, is it goes down to the smallest of pieces. I have two friends who could not close on their house.
Wow. Yes.
Because the average American is living check to check. Let's be clear.
That's right.
And you all know as well as I do that those paychecks were included in them making it towards their down payment amount.
That's
Absolutely.
Right. Or their closing cost, or their title cost, or all of those things. And so when that money doesn't come through and you don't know when more money is going to come in, the disruption is incredible. So I don't know when an end comes, because we've got a president that literally said that he does not have a problem with this going on for months or longer.
Yeah.
And he said that.
Because he's not impacted by it.
Oh, come on now.
That's a whole nother conversation for another day and for a longer show. So, but no, I mean, again, man, it really is just good to hear, your insight, because I know you get the opportunity to travel, the globe, man, and you get to hear, from the business owners, from family members, like you talked about, from a political perspective, and you sit on so many platforms. So I know people in the city need to hear from you, because I really think, Jeff, right here in our community, a lot of people, when we were talking about that, even just on social media, people said, man, I didn't even think about the impact or the ripple effect that this thing has been, how it's been impacting our communities. And like when you just talked about the mortgage, I started to break that down. So not only do they not get their home, but now that mortgage lender now doesn't get their commission. And then now what about the title company? What about, the moving company that they were going to hire? I mean, we can keep breaking that thing down of the true impact, man. And it really, man, it's just, it's sad that we're in this state, but I would say, and I would challenge people out there, because a lot of time we ask people how they're doing, but really, truly, if you have somebody that is being impacted in your family and you're in a position to help them, really ask them how they're doing and see if you can assist them and reach out at another level in this point, of time, what we're going through in our community. So man, I would like to say, Jeff, I want to, before you get off the phone with us, I know you always have some amazing things going on, and I just want to make sure that, you leave the listeners with any great tips or tell them what new projects you have going on, and as you continue to just impact, everything that, you're doing and touching. So, and
be sure to tell them how to get in touch with you or hear more from you.
Oh, no, absolutely. I mean, y'all can hit me at social media, Jeffs Nation, JEFFS Nation, on all social media. Can hear me every Tuesday and Thursday on the Ricky Smiley Morning Show. But, man, I am a crib to college daddy. Man, I got I got a sophomore at Spelman and a 4-month-old in the crib, man. So when you talk about new and exciting projects,
yes,
my new and exciting projects are Baldwin and Garvey.
Okay. Yes, sir.
So no, and no, man. I mean, I'm doing some incredibly exciting things on the media side. We got a couple of shows that we're working on, and I'm excited about. But there is nothing more exciting. You know I love you, brother, because I flew in on the red eye. And I just landed in Baltimore from L.A. at 5 a.m.
Oh, wow.
And fighting the cold. And I'm like, man, I love this brother. Because,
I told Meltrice that.
I also came in. There was some crazy stuff going on in L.A. this weekend.
Yes.
But I flew back in because my boys, my 2 teenage boys, some way concocted an opportunity for them to play each other.
Oh,
So their teams don't play each other.
Wow.
One of them called the other school, and they said, well, just have your athletic director call our athletic director and we can work it out. So full transparency, since this thing is happening already, and I think the statute of limitations has passed, one of my sons pretended to be the assistant athletic director.
Oh, wow.
So,
wow.
So tonight is the Battle of the Johnsons.
Oh, wow.
It's going down.
I have to be home. And I think that one of them is going to have to stay in a hotel tonight because it's not going to be good.
It's not going to be nice.
Johnson House.
It's going down
But
at the
that's
Johnson
the
House.
exciting stuff for me, man. I am loving being a husband and a father every day, man, and
awesome.
growing and learning and realizing how much I don't know and growing as a result of what I don't know. And no matter what shows I do or where I travel or any of those things that happen, none of that really means anything, man, if I'm not getting this part right.
Wow.
That's right.
So again, man, I just want to thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much,
Just all
Jeff.
your support, man. When I started Real Black Friday, when people thought I was crazy, like, what is he doing? you were one of the first brothers I called, and you said, "What, LaRese?" But you flew in every year. You come in, you support me whenever I call. You answer the phone, man, and you really, really support me. So I appreciate you, man. I love you, my brother, and I thank you for all that you do, man. Thanks for coming on, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff.
You do the same for me, man. Love y'all. Have a great one.
All
Okay,
right,
you too, man.
Bye.
Thanks for calling. Peace.
Welcome back to 95.9 WOVU. He says, she said. We're excited today about our topics. We're again talking about savings. We're going in today, Cleveland, because we're about to win. But I believe we have a call. So we'll take a pause for a call.
Okay.
All right. Reginald from Cleveland, are you there?
I'm here.
Is this my pastor?
This is your pastor.
Mr. Reginald Willis, the best pastor. Oh, I can't say that. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I want people being mad at me.
No, it's okay.
But you know I love you, Pastor. Right?
I know you do. I love you guys too, man.
Love you too, Pastor. Good to hear from you. What you gonna drop on us today?
Yeah.
You got some good information for us?
I just calling more or less with a comment. First of all, congratulate you because I just believe that this show, man, this is great. This is it's relevant and it's just so necessary. And I was thinking in terms of the finances and the piece that you were talking about in terms of savings. Mm-hmm. How we, just historically, I don't think we've been taught to do it.
Yeah.
It seems like sometimes mom and dad has kind of been robbing Peter to pay Paul. And some of our examples of how we dealt with our finances haven't always been the proper one, I would say.
Right.
I think parents sometimes had to do what they needed to do, but for example, it wasn't what we needed to see. And so we need to be trained, and some of us just need to be retrained.
Right.
That's right.
And so this piece here is so relevant. I was thinking about a lot of times what I deal with many times is when you lose a loved one and there is nothing in place to put them away like you want to have them put away,
GoFundMe accounts.
Mm-hmm. And then the burden falls on the family. So just more of a comment, guys, that we need this. We really need this here.
Thank you.
And I appreciate you, Pastor, because you've always been very supportive, of myself and Meltrice, and I just love the work that you're doing at your church, Philemon, right there off of St. Clair, man, and you're doing work right in our community, and we're actually going to be coming to your church to do financial literacy training for the community. So we're going to lock that date in, so you guys, listeners, you'll be listening out for that date, but we're excited about that, and we just thank you for the work, and thank God that He's using you to do the things that you're doing in our community. So thanks for that support.
And a shout out to my First Lady Willis.
You better do that.
Because behind every good woman, good man is a better woman. So that's that better woman behind you, Miss Pastor Willis. I know it. First Lady Willis. She's awesome. Tell her we said hi and we love her. Thanks for calling in.
Well, I agree. Okay, love you guys.
I love you too, man. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, that was something though, because we failed to talk about that. We don't even have enough savings a lot of time to bury our loved ones. So it burns my. I'm not gonna say it burns me up.
That's right.
When I get a text message or I see something on a Facebook page or Instagram page saying can you support my GoFundMe page so I can bury my mother or bury my brother.
But we could really break that down even further. How many family, if you're listening right now, how many people are you not talking to in your family because either your mother died, your father died, your uncle, auntie died, and everybody was fighting over who was going to take the stove,
50 cent they had,
who was going to take the couch, who was going to take the fur coat they had, or the jewelry they had, because we don't have wills in our community. We don't have trust agreements, so they have to go through.
We don't
probate.
have proper insurance.
Yeah, so we don't have those things, and we don't talk about them because we think talking about insurance is killing somebody in our family.
Yeah.
So it's like, especially when you're talking a lot of times to the older generation, the question is, are you trying to kill me? Baby, why are we talking about this?
Right.
And we have two dates that are guaranteed to everybody on this earth. You have a birth date and you have a death date. So those are guaranteed. So why not make sure that we create legacies so when we do have to leave this earth, that we set up our next generation so that they can have wealth and they can create businesses, they can buy properties, they can have their first home paid for in cash, they can have college paid for in cash. So why not leave and set up generations that come? That's one thing I love to hear Jay-Z, and Beyonce them talk about, that they're leaving, their grandchildren's grandchildren.
Yeah, we talked about this morning.
They'll be okay for generations to come. So because they're thinking ahead of the game. So
a wise man or woman leaves a legacy for their children's children.
That's right. The word talks about an inheritance, leaving an inheritance for your children's children.
Talk about being the lender and not the borrower.
That's right.
Right.
But you had something though I want to make sure we address before we leave today, because you asked me a question, this morning that I want to hear a little more from you, and we're gonna have to go at it, with this he said, she said today. I want to get your perspective and some callers. We're gonna get some callers calling on this. So I asked a question.
So we're controversial a little bit, right?
Let's go.
Your perspective is a little bit different than mine.
That's
and
right.
we talked about savings and having money and being broke.
Yes.
So when you have money, you're a little more attractive.
Yeah.
You're a little more attractive.
Yeah.
And I think it's more acceptable for a woman to be broke than it is for a man to be broke. It's nothing like a broke down man.
Oh. So I guess that's so
what you have to say about that?
What do y'all think about that?
What you think about that, Ulissa?
Ulissa, what you thinking about?
A brother coming up to you and they broke. They don't have any savings. They don't have any plan. They driving a nice car that they can barely afford to pay for.
Mm-hmm. No chance with me.
I know that's right.
No
chance with me. What about you, Kira?
Kira, what you thinking about that, man?
I'm gonna have to roll with you, Lisa, on that one too.
Right.
Especially if I'm doing what I have to do to take care of myself and create a future for me.
That's right.
Can't do it.
Yeah, it's nothing like a broke down man.
But hold on now. What if he has something he's working towards? He has vision. He has ideas that he wants to generate. He has a vision for a new business. you won't give him a chance if he's trying. At least he's trying.
Oh, I mean, if he's trying, but it's like I'm to the point where I'm just not looking for that, like
so
to
you're
build up.
past that.
I'm not looking up to build a man. I'm just looking for like, you have your stuff together. I have my stuff together. That's it.
So you're not trying to get with potential. You say?
I'm not really.
We're not teenagers.
Not right
okay.
now.
We're not teenagers.
Ooh.
So,
Not right
so
now.
I mean, this goes beyond having money, having an emergency fund, and take care of an emergency as it comes up. This is really about how do I secure my future wife.
Yes.
And a broke brother can't secure his future wife.
I've helped dudes get their credit together. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just not to the point where I just don't want to do that no more. Have your credit together, because like I'm.
So you checking credit?
So
you checking credit?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Actually, because like I think credit is very important, especially if you don't have a lot of money.
Yes.
I think you need to at least have a good credit.
Man,
you know?
speak that.
Yeah.
Speak
So-
that.
You really don't need a lot of money if you got good credit.
But you know what? Hold on now, because I'm feeling a little attacked now, because I got 3 lovely young ladies speaking against me right now.
But are you broke?
And I got some brothers.
So okay, I just want to say
I got some brothers in the room. Oh, Drico, I know Drico.
I
You
just
got
want to
some
say real
perspective,
quick,
my
if you don't have a lot of money, then don't date. Work on yourself first, and then work up to your own potential. And don't date at all. Why you got to put a woman through all this stuff?
Right.
Like,
work
by
that.
yourself,
Say that
and then
Okay.
when you finally get to your level where you can actually take a woman out and not pay with a credit card, maybe cash, then you good. But work by yourself.
Right.
Everybody's working on themselves.
Okay,
The
well,
Bible
hold on,
says
hold
a
on,
man
hold on.
that don't work don't eat.
Okay.
So if you're not eating yourself, how you gonna take?
Why would you wanna date when you're broke?
No,
Like-
because y'all coming at me right now. I feel a little attacked right now. For the brothers out there, the question I have for you is, what about a broke woman? So should we be
That's
okay?
more acceptable.
So that's acceptable?
Yes.
Oh,
I don't want to
okay.
say
So-
I don't want to agree with
I
it being
don't-
acceptable. I
it's-
think a
I
woman
said
should
it's
work
more
on herself too.
I absolutely
However,
agree with
like
that.
I don't agree with people just dating while being broke.
Yeah.
But
That's
it's
my
more,
thing.
It's more acceptable for a woman.
Who says
to be-
who? That's
says-
from a woman's perspective.
That's generally speaking.
That's from a
generally
woman's
exactly,
perspective.
Because
yeah.
women are taking care. Back to our point last week, women have more on their shoulders than men.
Okay.
And men are expected to be the head of their households. They're expected to have earning potential and have savings and different things like that. They're expected to take care of a woman. I know it's shifting a little bit, but I'm just saying socially it's more acceptable.
Meltrice.
I don't agree with either, but socially it's more acceptable
So
for
now,
a woman to
Meltrice,
be.
I feel that a lot of women just right here in this community, and brothers, if you're gonna back me up, Drico, hit that mic, man. I need some backup on that. JD, come on now. Jay, you can
They
chime in
scared.
too. But let's talk. I mean, because I feel like a lot of women in our community have a princess mentality, where
we
it's
going there.
oh yeah, we're gonna go there,
Okay.
like because Marcella, we were talking with Marcella about this subject, and it's this thing of you guys feel like the guy needs to take care of you. They have to pay for everything. They have to bring the money to the table. They have to have the savings. They have to have the good credit. But what do? So you just gonna get? Is it gonna be a give take?
No, I pay for out of 5, I paid 2 dinners.
2? Okay, so that's that's 40%. I'm a math guy. That's 40%. We working with something.
How you're growing up. For me, it was my parents are still together, and my dad paid the mortgage, and my mom paid the little bills because he made more. It was all about who made more. So that's why I've grown up to be like that. Okay, so if you're making more, obviously you're gonna spend more.
So
than
now,
me.
I believe that everybody has to bring something to the pot.
Okay.
I really believe that. Now, I believe that it's more socially acceptable for a woman to have less money than men. A man, absolutely. But do I believe that women need to have their stuff together? I mean, our whole topic today is about savings. That's not gender specific. We're talking about savings in general. Women need to have savings. Men need to have savings. And I believe everybody needs to bring something to the pot. Everybody needs to come together to make the relationship healthy.
I can talk as a single man that's out here, dating now. I definitely want a woman that brings something to the table. She has to be hardworking.
Yeah.
She got to be willing to grind, put some work in, create some wealth. She got to care about her finance. She has to have life insurance, have to have decent
Life
credit.
insurance? Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, life insurance is critical.
Because that's critical, man.
I gotta get my stuff up
yeah,
there.
so we going to talk about that. We're going to break it down. But guess what? Like you said, you help with credit. If I'm supposed to be in your life, I should be able to speak that into you
Right.
and help walk you through that process to make sure you're in order, man. I mean, we're supposed to be, again, a give situation. But again, you know, for me, I'm an old school guy. Now, I'll say, you know, we going back and forth.
Go ahead and agree with us. Go ahead and agree with us.
Yeah, I do. I'm a guy that I'm that Southern type guy that I feel like a man should take care of his woman, his wife, whoever he's with, and that's just chivalry to me. I still open the door. I get mad when you touch the door now because I think a man should do that, especially when our kids are watching.
Yeah.
So I know this is another subject, but I want my son to see how we should take care of his sister. You know how because if he starts with his sister and his mother, then it'll transform to his wife. So if we talk about money, he sees me footing the bill. He sees me working hard every day, brothers. He watches that, so he'll grow into that, and then we'll make sure generational wealth is being created because we're teaching them on a small scale today. But I'll just say, I definitely think that you should bring something to the table.
Agreed.
For me, I'll say Meltrice, Ulissa, Kiera. I just want to know if I need you, you got me.
Yeah, you want a sister to have your back.
You want an option.
You want a sister to have your back.
So I just want to know if I drop you off to the door at the movies and I let you out being a man because I don't want your shoe, your red bottoms or whatever to get wet. I drop you at the door.
You gonna have the tickets.
You gonna have the tickets. Don't wait for me to park down the street. And then I walk, and you ain't even got the ticket. You waiting for me to pay for the ticket. Yeah. I have a problem with that.
We need more brothers like you out there. I thank God that I have one. My king is the exact same way. I definitely thank God for that.
That's why you shouldn't date while being broke.
Yeah.
I agree. That's what I was just about to say. Let's go back to the topic. You cannot. Yeah, because sisters are having a hard time out there, right?
They are.
We get beat down.
How so?
Because we carry a lot of the burden of the community. Think about how many single mothers there are out there. A brother will walk away and leave all of the burden of raising that child, working, playing mom, playing dad on a woman.
Yeah. You know what? And I'm going to say, and this is from a brother's perspective, because I think it's no excuse if you have health in your body, you're breathing, you can hang out at the club, you can go take a girl who ain't your baby's mother out, and you're not taking care of your child. Because again, a man who don't work shouldn't eat. If you put a kid on this earth, I have no respect for men like that don't take care of their child. So another man has to come in the house, and then now they calling them daddy, and now they confused. Is that my daddy? My mama changed my last name to his name, but I don't think he's my real daddy, but he's responsible for taking care of and being responsible. Then you show up and you got an attitude because now he's taking care of your child. So I think, brothers, we got to build some wealth. We got to go to work. We got to get on our grind and take care of our children. But we also got to take care of our queens as well.
That's right.
In our community. So,
that's right.
But we're going to go ahead and take
a break. But I want to get back to this topic. I want to take this back to the whole ideal of savings and wrap it up with some tips people can walk away from so they can elevate their finances. So we'll be back. WOVU 95.9.